Hello.
What's going on, Ricky? It's Kenny. How you doing?
Good, man. How are you? I was just getting ready to call you.
Oh, well, luckily I got the email back in April, and I guess I beat you to the punch.
Yeah.
But welcome back,
Cool.
man, and thank you for wanting to do a follow-up, man. I truly appreciate it.
Sure, absolutely.
All right, Ricky. Well, let's get caught up with you. Um, the last time you was on the show was back in May, and here we are in November. So why don't you tell the listeners what you've been up to from May all the way to now?
Well, a lot of the same. Wrestling an awful lot, and then I also went back to WWE, which is going to be hopefully continuing thing here. I just went back and did some another tryout, which was just basically the same thing, but this time I kind of got to talking to a little bit more important people, I guess, like higher ups and stuff, some writers, and kind of shot around some ideas and just basically, push the envelope a little bit more this time. Just kind of want to find out what they were looking for, what they needed, because when you go down there, you can only do so much, so it's up to you to kind of, you know, the show them that you want to be part of the company and willing to do whatever it takes, So I just went down and did more talking to some more important people, and with that, kind of introduce myself personally to some higher up people, and got some pretty good feedback. And I'm supposed to go back in December and see, some people wanted to see me back, and they were like, make sure, we see you in December. We're coming to Philadelphia and New York and New Jersey and stuff all through December. So we definitely want to talk to you some more then. So, other than that, I'm just keeping busy wrestling for NWAs and stuff out here and, all over the Northeast, in Canada and stuff. So that's really about it.
All I can say is, wow, man! Congratulations on at least still on the opportunity. At least, I mean, regardless what people feel about WWE these days, I mean, they're still the big leagues, and to for you to at least they even considering you, I mean, that's saying something. They're keeping in touch with you, so that's good to know. Congratulations on at least being in the hunt for a developmental contract, obviously, and hopefully someday being on the main roster. I know you can't talk too much about it, but I definitely wish you good luck on that going forward, man.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and also, for what I've heard, you was ranked. Did you know that you was ranked in the PWI top 300 wrestlers of 2012?
Yeah, I heard something about that. I haven't looked into it though.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's top 300, and it's just I forgot exactly where you was ranked, but
Mm.
that's definitely quite an honor and an achievement. How do you feel about a magazine like Pro Wrestling Illustrated having you on there? I mean, a lot of talented wrestlers on that list, especially those from the indie circuit and those that's in the big leagues that used to be in the indie circuit. I mean, how does that make you feel to at least be in that list?
Well, it's always nice to get acknowledged for the hard work that you put in. So anybody, complimenting your work or recognizing you as being a top talent, or just just being visual, you know what I mean, and just getting recognized for all the hard work that you put forth. You know, as independent wrestlers, no one's getting rich, so to stay in the game for longer than a few years, uh, proves that you have a lot of passion for what we do, and you know, uh, a lot of drive and, like for me, it's a challenge. I was just asked the other day, like, what keeps me going, because I seem to be so enthused about everything that I do, and it's just a challenge. It's like some people ask, like, doesn't it get, repetitive or kind of like, another, independent show here and there. But I look at it like every event is, no matter how many times I've been to that building or with this company or whatever, it's still a challenge. There's still new fans, another opportunity for you to reinvent yourself in some way, shape, or form. Like, I give 100% every night, whether it's, I'm in there in a hard-hitting match, or if I'm in there in a match where I'm just, playing up a character or whatever it is. I work hard regardless and want to be, to want to do the best of my ability, like steal the show in some way, shape, or form, so, I absolutely enjoy what I do and enjoy, being able to wake up every day and say, hey, I get to do what I want to do, for a living and to keep at it for as long as I have and still to be passionate about it. Like there's a lot of guys that are probably 10 years in, like me, and probably sit at home and like, oh, if I'm on the WWE in another year, I'm out of here, Well, for me, the WWE is a goal, but it's not my be-all, end-all, So whether I get there or not, it's not going to define me as a person or my entire career for certain, I still have a lot of goals everywhere. I have a lot of goals I want to achieve on the independents. I still have a lot of goals I want to achieve overseas. WWE is definitely one of them and could definitely help bring along those other, achievements later. But, when a magazine says you're top, 700, 300, 400, whatever it is, it's nice to be acknowledged, for it. I don't read too much into it, I'm not like, super excited, and I'm not like, like, whatever with it. But it is nice, it's nice to see your name up there, and just know that, hey, at least people are noticing my hard work, That's kind of how I look at it.
Wrestlers, like any other athletes, they strive to work hard and get better at their craft and everything. Do you ever get a chance to watch your matches on YouTube? And if so, do you like critique yourself on the things that you did well and the things that you'll like to improve?
Absolutely. That's a big, I don't watch my matches a lot. The thing about myself, at least, I can't speak for everybody, but mentally I'll picture how I want it to go or how I want it to, how I want to get to a certain point in the match. And then I go out and I do it. And then when I leave the match, after my matches where I'm just kind of sitting there in the zone, like, and I'm just replaying everything in my mind, how it felt, and in my mind how it looked. And then what I do is I follow up on that when I watch it, and I put myself back in the position and think, man, like, this thing, I always look for the negatives. Like, a lot of people, you come from the back, and if I ask somebody that I trust, like, hey, man, watch my match, I want that person to tell me what looked not good, and what could be better. I don't need people to tell me, oh, man, that looked awesome and this looked awesome. It was a great match. That's not what I'm looking for. You know what I mean? It's like a real, perfectionist could care less what people say as far as, like, positives to, you always want to hear the negatives, because that's what you got to go back into the gym and work on, And for me, it's like, if I tell you, hey, watch my match, and I come back 20 minutes later, and you're like, oh, man, that match was crazy, it was so good, I really like this spot, and I really like this move, it's like, could care less, now you're just like, that's like asking the guy sitting in the front row, hey, can you watch my match and let me know how it is, you know what I mean? Oh, it was great, of course he thinks so, If I ask you, it's because I trust your opinion, and I need to know what what didn't look good or what could be better. What's something I need to work on. And so I'm very picky about who I ask to watch my match. I have a lot of people that ask me just because of the way I am, technical-wise in the ring, and the things that I work on every day to improve. So I'll go back and I usually watch a match, maybe once or twice in like a week span, and just kind of look for little things. A lot of times I'll watch it as a fan the first time, and then I'll kind of let it sit and marinate in my brain for a little bit, and I'll go back later and I'll watch it again for the movement and the timing and just how I can make things bigger. I kind of look at it from like a trainer's perspective, like the second time around, like what can I look at the match and I think, what can I pick apart here that looked not well, or didn't look quote unquote believable, or whatever. Or how can I make that better? How can I make this particular area of the match mean more with doing less? It's usually the trick. So yeah, I do watch my stuff, but I don't watch it a lot. Like I like to watch other people's stuff, like people that I look up to and stuff like that. So I don't spend too long looking at my own stuff. I just kind of get what I need from it, and then I'll go, depending on the type of match, I'll research a match similar to that. Like if it's a big guy, little guy match, or a technical wrestling match, I'll go watch a match similar to that and think, okay, did this whole story come off as well as this one? Like I'll go watch. If I wrestled a guy that's a really good wrestler, and we went down on the mat and did some stuff, and it got heated and to a big exchange and explosive moves towards the end, then I'll go back and watch something along the lines of like Guerrero Angle at WrestleMania 20. You know what I mean? And just, kind of like, okay, did this build the same way? Did I make this mean as much as they did here? And stuff like that. But I don't really sit back and, watch all my stuff very often. I don't really think too many people do that, it's because you can only learn so much because you were there. Like I did it, you know what I mean? So I'm only watching for what didn't feel right or didn't look right,
For those just tuning in, you're listening to Triple Threat Wrestling Radio on a Tuesday night, not Thursday, right here on itmiradio.com. And I'm joined with returning guest, the Cuban Crippler, Ricky Reyes. Why don't you go ahead and promote your upcoming matches and shows you have coming up?
All right. This Saturday, I'm in Allentown, Pennsylvania for EPWE. Then I'm in New Jersey on December 8th for NWA on Fire, which is a national TV taping we're doing there. And then I believe the next Saturday is December 15th. I'm in Connecticut for CTWE, Bethany, Connecticut. The next Friday, I'm in Long Island, New York for ICW, Jack Sabbath's group. Then the following Saturday is December 29th, I believe, and I'm in Maryland Championship Wrestling. And that's pretty much all I have for the rest of the year. But I train twice a month at my wrestling school in Long Island, New York for Victory Pro Wrestling. They have a school up there, and I'm a trainer over there. So I'm usually there, pretty busy in New York all the time. So.
Well, Ricky, it was great talking to you again, and congratulations on everything you've done this year. And I wish you many more success going forward and in 2013 as well. Again, thank you for being on, and you have a great night. Have a happy Thanksgiving as well, man.
All right, you too. Thanks for having me.
All right, you have a good night.
All right, you too. Bye.
All right, bye-bye. That was the Cuban Crippler, Ricky Reyes. Join me here on Triple Threat Wrestling Radio.